Okay, everyone. Hello. Good afternoon. I hope you're all doing well. This is, I think, our third or fourth installment in terms of the campus webinars. So if you didn't catch Mad About McGee, hopefully you're around to catch Buzzin at Belfast. And today, that's exactly what we're going to be talking about. Is the current Belfast campus, but also more excitingly than that, what the future holds in terms of its redevelopment. Hopefully this session should last about 30 to 35 minutes. I'll try my best to be brief. You can ask questions like the other webinars using the Q&A function, which is at either the top of your screen or the bottom. My colleague Jonathan should be on the webinar to assist with any questions that you have throughout the session. So if you do have a question, simply type it into the Q&A button and it will be answered. So what we're going to discuss today then is the Belfast campus, I guess, in a nutshell, and some key characteristics about the current Belfast campus. Then, more exciting than that, we're going to talk about the redevelopment of the Belfast campus, hopefully opening in September 2021. So if you're in year 13 now, it is likely that you'll begin any course that's currently offered on the Jordanstown campus in the new Belfast campus. And if you're in year 14, you'll likely join us in your second year of study. So I'm going to show you some sneak previews of what the campus is actually going to look like. Then I'll talk about the Cathedral Quarter and some of the things that when I was studying at the Belfast campus about 3 or 4 years ago now, that really excited me and kept me entertained, and I'm sure it will you too if you join us on the Belfast campus. Then, of course, I will talk about courses offered at the Belfast campus, as well as accommodation provision, students' union activities, as well as clubs and societies, and some of the notable people currently studying at the Belfast campus and what they have to say about their experience so far. And then at the very end, we'll allow maybe 5 or 10 minutes for any additional questions that you didn't get answered throughout the session. So, kicking off then. First off with the Belfast campus, and I guess this is talking about the Belfast campus in its current form. So if you don't already know, it is located in Belfast city centre, hence the name. But more specifically than that, it's located in the very hipster and the very chic Cathedral Quarter, which is a very fitting area for a creative arts campus. Currently, it's a particularly small campus in terms of the student population. It's only got about 1,500 students. And with that comes a very community feel. Everybody knows everybody, including the staff and the postmen and the security. They'll all know your names by the first few weeks. And it's a campus that is really all about state-of-the-art facilities. And that includes creative studios for fine arts students, photography students, architecture students. They are all at industry level standard. And also notably for hospitality and tourism students, the Belfast campus hosts only one of 6 training restaurants in the UK called the Academy. So we're really proud to have that facility. Again, as I've alluded to, we are significantly and massively redeveloping this campus, pumping more than £350 million at this point into it. And it's a really exciting development for us, which I'll talk about in a second or so. In terms of getting to the Belfast campus, if you're coming from the likes of my neck of the woods, Derry, it's only about 2 hours. From Coleraine, it's an hour and a half. From Newry, an hour. And Dublin, 2 hours. So really accessible, no matter what part of the country you're coming from. So now let's talk about the redevelopment, because this is the really exciting part. This is basically where we're taking all Jordanstown programs, facilities, staff, and students, and we are translating them into Belfast city centre, and it's no mean feat. The current infrastructure, the current project is the largest European project and capital build in terms of higher education. So we are undertaking that currently, and we're really excited for it to be finished. So to show you what that campus development is going to look like, in total, when it's completed by September 2021, it will be almost 75,000 square meters. To give you a sense of how much we're increasing this campus by, on the right-hand side from the dashed line, that is the current Belfast campus. And in fact, the building you see with the solar panels on the right-hand side is part of the new Belfast campus. So even before that, it was much smaller. So this campus is probably, doubling, if not tripling in size, meaning that it's going to be a really busy campus and a really exciting campus full of energy. It's also going to be an energy efficient campus as well as ecologically friendly. You can see the sky gardens proposed on the BC and BD buildings, and that's part of our commitment to be sustainable and ecologically friendly. In terms of a cross-section of what the campus will look like, so this is now the building on the left-hand side that we're currently working on. You'll see these stacked columns that are dedicated to each faculty area. So depending on which subject or course you're studying or thinking of applying to, this will be your designated area in terms of where the teaching will go on. You'll see that there's a main thoroughfare as well, and this will be where our library services are, where a gym is, where our catering and students' union services are too as well. So, and even with the size of the figures, you can get a sense of scale as to what this campus is going to be like. Again, another cross section, and that just goes to give you a sense of scale. It's going to be a phenomenally big campus, and I think it's almost going to feel, certainly when I've been in the construction site and seeing the proposed plans, it's going to feel like an airport. It's going to be that huge. So this is a image, a plan for a proposed underground lecture theatre. So you might have seen in the previous slide there that the lecture theatre in purple actually dips underground. So we're digging underground to, I guess, create this lecture theatre. And that'll give the lecture theatre great acoustics. There'll be no noise coming from outside emanating in. And with the mood lighting and the textiles, it'll really help you focus much better. At least that's the theory behind interior design of this building. Another proposed view of the main entrance is, again, I hope you can see now when I said it's going to feel like an airport. Just the grand scale of this campus is going to be absolutely huge. As I mentioned in the webinar yesterday, I think this is going to be certainly one of the tallest buildings in Belfast and one of the biggest. So it gives you a sense of the size of this project. And this is a view of Block BD. This will be where our professional staff will work, such as admissions, such as your course directors. And it's also going to be the home of our Academy restaurant. We are completely refurbishing that and translating it into Block BD. So this will be our new home, and we're really excited to move in. We can't wait until the project is complete. Hopefully the current situation hasn't delayed it any further, but we are anticipating that by September 2021, any Year 13 students applying for September 2021 will begin their first year of study there. So that's Belfast in a bit of a nutshell, or at least the campus and proposed infrastructure. What I want to do now is talk about the environment within which the Belfast campus is based, also known as the Cathedral Quarter. And what I've really done here is similar to the Mad About McGee webinar, is where I've picked 3 or 4 things that I really like about the Cathedral Quarter and studying at the campus in general. So the first thing is about the Cathedral Quarter is the Cathedral Quarter. I know that sounds like a bit of a cop-out, but really, once you're studying at the Belfast campus, the Cathedral Quarter kind of becomes your home. It's where you'll go to pick up art supplies. It's where you'll go to have an artisanal coffee. It's where you'll go to simply walk around and, I guess, take in the sights. The cobblestone streets give it a really quaint quality and make it perfect for any Instagram posts, which I know a lot of our Belfast campus students like to do. So the Cathedral Quarter itself is an exciting area to be studying at the Belfast campus in. Something else I really liked about studying at the Belfast campus during my time was late night art. This takes place, I think, in the last Thursday of every month, and it's essentially where museums, galleries, and other art shops stay open late, where they host exhibitions and wine tasting events. And it's a really good excuse to stay on campus a bit later, so you can head into the Cathedral Quarter and experience the arts and the culture of what Belfast City Centre has to offer. I've spent many a late night in Belfast City Centre because of late night art. Next up is our fashion degree show. Again, like late night art, it's a great night in City Centre. Our fashion students, this is their final show. This is where they go to showcase their creations in terms of the clothes and the jewellery, and they hire in models to do a catwalk within St. Anne's Cathedral. It's a really grand spectacle. It's something that gets a lot of funding, gets a lot of sponsorship, and it's a fantastic night out. You don't have to be an Ulster University student to go to this. Anybody can go to it. It's a ticketed event, and it's a great night, and it's a great showcase. Unfortunately, that won't be happening this year, but we do look forward to it, and certainly next year. And finally, what I really liked about studying at the Belfast campus in the Cathedral Quarter was this sense of community. And I know I've spoken about it at McGee, but it is really the case here at Belfast too. And I suppose community in the sense that, because certainly at the current time, there was a lot of creative courses at the Belfast campus, it meant there was a lot of collaboration. So for example, any fine arts students who needed photographs taken of their pieces, they could easily call upon photography students. And similar with, for example, any printmaking students, if they needed business cards made, they would approach business students who would happily all cross-collaborate. And I really love that vibe about studying at the Belfast campus. It's something that I hope isn't lost when we expand, but I doubt it will be. So those are a few of the things that I really enjoyed about studying at the Belfast campus. Now I want to talk about the course provision. And obviously I could talk about Belfast in its current format, but given the fact that all courses from Jordanstown will eventually move to the Belfast campus, I'm going to talk about Belfast courses as in the future. So all courses that I'm about to talk about may not be currently taught there, but within the next year, they will be. So kicking off, Faculty of Arts, Humanities and Social Sciences. You can see here, again, a broad range of different subjects, including our creative subjects, which is what Belfast is most notable for, having been originally a college of art. But again, we're going to be including communication and media subjects, law, politics, criminology, and so on and so forth. But a brand new course offered at Belfast from this September is our screen production course. And I spoke a little yesterday about how we create new courses based off the needs of the economy and what they tell us is going to be an expansion. And screen production is no different, because if you look at the TV and film industry in Northern Ireland over the past 10 years, you'll notice a trend. So for example, Game of Thrones, Line of Duty, BBC's The Fall, which is where Jamie Dornan made his TV debut, and finally my favourite, Derry Girls. All these TV and film productions have suddenly popped up out of nowhere. And I think the reason why is because TV and film has been identified as the most effective way to sell and tell a positive story about post-conflict Northern Ireland. So we're getting our hands in this course, and we are hopefully teaching the next generation of directors, of producers, of filmmakers, so they can continue creating great productions for the Northern Ireland film scene. So next up is our Faculty of Computing and Engineering and the Built Environment. And as you can see, most of the computing and engineering courses will be moving to Belfast. Currently, we don't have any computing and engineering courses with the exception of one, and that is architecture. And in architecture, they have a really fantastic facility on the 5th floor of the Belfast campus. So the very top floor of the current Belfast campus, where they have the grand view over the Belfast skyline, and that helps inspire our students to make miniature models of buildings from the scenery around them. The way the architecture studio works is that it's a vertical studio. So as well as undergraduate students being taught in the one studio, master's level students will also be taught. So there's a bit of an apprenticeship learning there, where undergraduate students are continually learning and enhancing their skills based off the experience of the master's students who went before them. So it's a really exciting course again. And as you can see, it is accredited by the Royal Institute of British Architects. So a really great accolade to have. Next up is our business school. And again, most of the courses currently offered in Jordanstown under the business school will move to the Belfast campus. So everything you see here will be offered at the Belfast campus from next year. What we have at the moment in our current Belfast provision is culinary arts management, international hospitality, and leisure and events management. And I suppose it's very fitting because, as I've already mentioned, we do have our award-winning Academy restaurant. It's won 6 or 7 Taste of Ulster awards. Such is the culinary experience that you get. You can see some of the rankings there for culinary arts management: 2nd in UK, 4th in UK in the Complete University Guide. And again, it's accredited by the Institute of Hospitality. So maybe you're like me, you wish you could cook. And if you've been watching Gino D'Acampo's and Gordon Ramsay's US and Mexican venture over the last couple of weeks, it certainly inspires you to want to cook like a master chef. And there's no better place to do it in Northern Ireland than a professionally created and constructed training restaurant. Next up is our Faculty of Life and Health Sciences, and the only courses that will be moving to Belfast that we're absolutely certain of is our School of Sport. We do get asked about our allied health programs a lot, such as the funded courses at the moment, and we've talked about this yesterday. There's a public consultation ongoing at the moment to determine where their future campus will be. That's delayed at the moment, but when normal business resumes, we'll hopefully get an answer for you. So as you can see, there's various ways you can study sport with us. There's a very exciting football coaching and business management course, which I'll talk about in detail in a second. And then we have a sport coaching and performance degree, which is essentially a top-up degree. And what that means is you'll study a foundation degree at one of our regional colleges before entering into your final year at Ulster University. But probably the 2 most popular degrees at Ulster University in terms of the School of Sport would be Sports Studies and Sports and Exercise Sciences. And I think that's reflected in their entry requirements, both of which I believe are an A and 2 Bs or 2 As and a B. But do check the website just for that. But they really are competitive programs. So I mentioned about football coaching and business management, and this is a new course that was recently included in our course offering last year. It's completely taught at Windsor Park, so whilst we're talking about the Belfast campus, you'll likely never set foot in it, maybe except for meetings with your supervisors and tutors, but all the teaching is done at Windsor Park in tandem with IFA professionals. At the end of it, you will get a UEFA B football and license. So it means that you can coach and train to a certain level. So again, a really exciting alternative to full-time study, because this course is offered part-time, meaning that it takes a little bit longer to complete. So 4 years instead of 3, but it works out a little bit more affordable. So as I said, for any of the entry requirements, you can check our course finder. Do use this facility. We've banged on about it over the last couple of webinars, and that's because this is really where your university research should start if you haven't already undertaken it. And this is where you're going to get all the broad information about the courses, including the entry conditions, career opportunities, and anything else you might want to know about the course. But what you should absolutely know is what specific subjects, if necessary, are required within a particular course. So next up, I want to talk about the accommodation provision at the Belfast campus, how much it costs, what's included, and the differences between the 2 provisions that we offer. So at Ulster University, Belfast campus, there are 2 campus accommodation options for you to choose from. You can study right next to the Belfast campus in our partner accommodation facility called 123 York Street. It's literally 10 seconds from the campus, meaning that if you're not an early riser and you don't have to get the bus to travel to the Belfast campus, then this is a great option. I know I was certainly like that at university. Or if you are simply prefer the affordability, then Jordanstown campus will still be offering accommodation options even after we've moved to the Belfast campus. You can see everything that's included within our accommodation provision across all the campuses, everything that you need, including Wi-Fi, bike storage, security, maintenance support, everything that you could possibly need. And again, as I've spoken about in the McGee webinar, we have been shortlisted as a finalist for the Best Booking Experience and Best Moving In Experience by the National Student Housing Awards. So we offer our students a really warm and receptive welcome when they arrive on accommodation with us. So they feel welcome, they feel supported, and they fit in fairly fast. The accommodation provision at 123 York Street then is a little bit more recent. As you can see, it's a little bit more modern looking, and absolutely the facilities are fantastic. I've seen them myself. Included within it is a games room, a gym, a cinema. You can see that there's a communal kitchen. Every room comes with a bathroom as well. That 123 York Street don't offer any single rooms or shared facilities. So everything is included in the package. In terms of how it breaks down in terms of price, you can see here, Jordanstown, you can have a single shared bathroom facility at £99 if you're cost conscious, or if you'd like an ensuite facility, that comes at £116. But actually it's much cheaper to get an ensuite at 123 York Street, which, like I say, is only 10 seconds away from the Belfast campus. And again, as I've mentioned before, we are the most affordable university in the UK or Ireland for student accommodation, evidenced every year. So now I want to take a look at clubs and societies. I touched on this yesterday in the general presentation, and this slide may be familiar. We do have over 75 sports clubs and societies available at Ulster University, to keep you active and entertained. So if you are coming in already competing or engaged in a sport, then there is a platform and a forum for you to continue that level of engagement. If you simply want to play for fun, then that option is there too. So there's options for you to go and compete in varsities or simply get involved. Specifically then in terms of our societies, these are some of the societies that are currently offered at the Belfast campus. And societies are a great way to meet new people and to make friends and just try something new. So as you can see, these are only some examples of what's currently offered at the Belfast campus, but we've everything from academic societies such as the Architecture Society and the Animation Society, to more cause-based societies such as the LGBT Society, political societies such as Ógra Sinn Féin and the Young Unionists, or I guess hobby-based societies as well, such as Come the Gaelic and the Link Gaming Society. So there's something there to keep you pretty much occupied, entertained, meeting new people all the time and trying new things. And we absolutely recommend everybody at least try to join a society, as it helps enhance your personal development, like I say, in terms of your communication skills and the willingness to go beyond your comfort zone. So, and clubs and societies, they are kind of intertwined with our Students' Union. And our Students' Union do oversee our sports clubs and societies, but fundamentally they play a much more important role than simply events and engagement. They help represent you through a variety of different ways. We have our academic rep system, which allows students from courses to stand up for their classmates and make their voices heard and suggest areas of improvement or areas of appraisal. We also have our 80 council rep system who help make fundamental changes to the Students' Union itself. And then our full-time student officers, two of which are on the left-hand side, our President, Colette Cassidy. And if you come and join us in the Belfast campus, you'll meet Shauna Murphy as well. Those guys are your point of contact if you need any advice at all. They also have a lot of information online and in their own Students' Union app, so you can keep up to date when you're with us to find out about any events that are happening, any new societies that tend to pop up, and any other general information that you need to know about the Students' Union. But they do run several campaigns as well, and one particular campaign that I really liked when I was at the Belfast campus was the Register to Vote Pet a Goat campaign. So this was me in my final year of university. And we had run a campaign with the Students' Union encouraging our students to register to vote in I think it was the Assembly elections at the time. And the way we did that was through a really silly, I guess, rhyme. If you register to vote, then you can pet this goat that we procured from Animal Kids Farm in County Tyrone or something. But it was a great way to incentivize students in I guess, the political process. So there's really weird and quaint and quirky things that happen all the time with the Students' Union. And it's these things that really help shape the memories of your university experience. And this was certainly one of my favorites. So next up, I want to show you a couple of faces of the Belfast campus, a couple of current students and what they have to say about Ulster University. Like I said in previous webinars, I think Ulster University is about people. It's about the friends you make, the people you meet, the experiences that you have, the people who you fall in love with, who you didn't think you'd ever fall in love with, or who you fancy or whatever. It's all about people and it's all about relationships. And so that's why I think showcasing some of our students really give you an insight into what life is like on each of our campuses. So first up, we've got Kiva Clements, who's currently studying photography with video at the Belfast campus. And Kiva says that she's loved campus life from being able to chill out in areas such as the Hub or the brand new Students' Union space in between classes. The campus is a nice size for now, Kiva, and everywhere is very easy to get to. We're like one big family. And that's certainly how I felt when I studied there. I felt that everybody knew each other, everybody looked out for each other, and it was a great vibe to have on campus. Next up was Gemma Ferguson. She's a hockey player, and she says that Ulster University's supportive environment allows me to balance study and doing something I love, playing for the Ulster Uni Elks Hockey Club. So I hope that shows that there's always something to do and get involved in, and people are there to support you, especially at our Belfast campus. So I'm coming towards the end of the webinar now, and I do want to talk about our open days that are happening in September. And as you can see, we've got open days for our Jordanstown campuses, our McGee campus, and our Coleraine campus. We will be announcing an open day for our Belfast campus, so keep an eye on that. It just hasn't been finalised just yet. But do make the attempt to get around all of our campuses to experience each campus and experience, I guess, the campus vibe so that you can make an informed decision, essentially. So you can get in touch with us. Again, if you've been following our webinars, okay, next slide. You can get in touch with us if you have any other questions that you didn't get answered today. You can contact our admissions team for any questions on your qualifications, or if you have any general questions about modules, about what the campuses are like, the societies on offer, you can contact us, the student recruitment team, at study@ulster.ac.uk. Or again, if you wish to chat to real life students, you can simply go on our Ulster University website and they'll pop up to answer your questions. So now I think Jonathan has been answering all your questions so far. If you don't have, or maybe hasn't, there's a couple of questions here that I will, that are still yet to be answered. So I'll do my best at answering those now. So would it be...
Just to come in there, I think most of the questions have been answered. Most are around the starting date for Belfast campus, accommodation, links from Jordanstown into Belfast. So we've gone through those answers already on the Q&A. But more of the questions are centred around when and if COVID-19 will affect the initial opening date of the Belfast campus, which we obviously don't entirely know yet. There is no revision of the date that is currently advertised for the opening of the camp. So fingers crossed, it may not be as affected as much, but again, we're unsure at this moment in time.
Okay, great. I think there's just a few more questions there. Laura says that the Jordanstown course on criminology and social policy moving to the Belfast campus in 2020. And yes, Laura, that would be the case. And the only question mark around some of the courses are the allied health programs, but all other courses currently offered in the Jordanstown campus, apart from them, are definitely moving to the Belfast campus. Would it be all courses moving in September 2021, or will be some courses, business school, for example, that may move sooner? No, so September 2021 will be the initial starting and moving date for all of our Jordanstown courses into Belfast. There are some business school courses already in the Belfast campus, such as Culinary Arts Management, International Hospitality and Tourism, as well as Leisure Events Management. But any other business school course apart from that, it'll be September 2021 before they are taught on the Belfast campus. No problem, thank you. How do you apply for accommodation? So you apply for accommodation on our accommodation website. Literally, if you Google Ulster University accommodation, that'll take you to a portal where you can find out again all about the different room options and the application process. But if you're in year 13 at the moment, you don't really need to worry so much about that until after you've applied or after the UCAS deadline. And then if you apply by the 7th of July, 2021, you're guaranteed a room in university accommodation. So that's for now the rough dates that you need to know. So if anybody has any other questions, do type them into the chat pane. John and myself will be around here for maybe 5 or 10 more minutes to answer anything. But hopefully you find that helpful and useful, and hopefully it excites you about what's going to be offered at the Belfast campus over the next year or so. I should also say that in terms of the registered vote pedagogue, no goats were harmed in the voter registration process. So guys, I'm going to be sticking around here again for another 5 or so minutes. I'm just going to turn the camera off, but I'll be keeping an eye on the chat pane if you have any further questions.